everyone, Joshua Hanlon here, and today I'm with Dan Siskin at the Brickmania headquarters in Minneapolis, and we're going to be taking a look at all of their new Ukraine-themed kits here. So they've got quite a number of very impressive models. So if you can, Dan, kind of take us through some of what we have on display here.
Well, these are the original three kits that we put out. We had this idea of putting, when the war started, we're like, we need to do something to help. And this is what we came up with. And it wasn't just Brickmania, it was actually a bunch of people on the Instagram community too. So other Brickmania builders or people in our sort of military community pitched ideas and said, hey, let's put together a fighter. I was starting to do this one, and so I did the 1/35th scale one. I just threw out the idea to the community. Hey, would you guys buy this if we made a benefit set? And support was overwhelming. And then we had Nathan Cragen did a 1/72nd scale, and then Nicholas Kramer did a micro scale. Basically the Ghost of Kyiv. It's a MiG-29. At the beginning of the war, it was pretty outrageous claim that one Ukrainian jet fighter, shot down six Russians.
Sort of this mythical figure almost.
Right. And it was, it was obviously propaganda, but and propaganda in a good way. We're trying to like keep a positive spirit, fighting spirit. And we decided to put out a set of it, and we sold a ton of these. These are benefit for the Ukraine, various humanitarian. Right now, we're actually working with an organization that's supplying Ukrainian Air Force pilots and their crews with a crucially needed equipment that they can't get in Ukraine. So,
that's amazing.
They're doing like so the Gentex makes helmets, fighter helmets for all the allied countries, but they don't have any way of having the electronics in these helmets interface with these old Soviet era Russian things. So our money is actually going towards building adapters that will interface between old and new technologies. So brand new helmets, brand new safety gear, brand new first aid kits, survival gear, that kind of stuff.
All of that equipment that people don't always think of, but I mean, it's all vital to the war effort.
Right. And of course, the government over there has got so many things going on that this is initiated by American fighter pilots and said, hey, we want to do something, and this is how we can help them.
So let's dive a little deeper into the design of your plane here. Take us through this.
So this is a MiG-29. We've done a MiG-29 before that was similar, and that Cody had designed, and I'm like, I'm going to start there as a basis. Why reinvent the wheel? And that's kind of been our theme at Brickmania all the time. We'll take over each other's models and add our own twist to them. So I started with an existing kit, completely rebuilt it. I think the only thing that's from the original model is probably the intakes for the engines and just the landing gear doors on the front. But I completely rebuilt it to get a few more details that I thought needed to be updated.
Okay.
This is a 4 or 5 year old model at this point, and so there's a lot of changes. The wing changes. It's just like the standards of the community have risen. The expectations have risen. So I wanted to update it to modern standards, which is.
Yeah, just like the community is always improving and builders are getting better and better, you guys try your best to keep up and use new parts or just always improve the designs.
Exactly. And expectations are always raised, and we want to make sure that we deliver to what the current standard is all the time. Stuff that we would have done stickers years ago, or like, hey, we can print this now. And of course, this is Ukrainian. The original one that we did was a Russian export variant with red stars on it, and everything. And we were like, well, let's do the Ukrainian. They have their own insignia. They have this crazy Ukrainian trident printed on the back of it. This is real. And as we started doing this, we actually started getting involved in meeting some of these actual pilots and stuff. And we're working with Adam Makos now. Adam Makos? He wrote the book Devotion. He's written a lot of books about World War II history and military history. New York Times best-selling author. He's the one who orchestrated us actually getting connected with the Ukrainian Air Force. And we did a Ghost of Kyiv fighter pilot. It's just a standalone figure it's similar to the figure that we made for the kit, but this is one that actually the Ukrainian Air Force pilots got involved and said, hey, we want this on, we want this. This is more realistic. So they kind of picked our figure apart and made it better. So, and then we're working, Adam's orchestrated working with these American fighter pilots that have trained the Ukrainians, the current Ukrainians. So it's been kind of a fun ride. And if you ever get a chance to read the book Devotion, it's awesome. It's about Jesse Brown, the pilot, first African-American naval aviator, shot down in Korea, and his wingman went around and actually crashed his Corsair next to him and tried to get him out of his cockpit, but he couldn't. He basically tried and failed to rescue his wingman.
Wow.
And that's what the book is about. It's an awesome
Yeah.
book.
No, that sounds fantastic, and I love what you guys have done with these kits here. So there are a few more we can take a look at over here.
This is the first. It was so popular that
Okay.
we kept it rolling. Basically, every week for several months, we released a new Ukraine benefit kit. So we have a BTR4 that Mary put together. Mary Wilson put this one together. This is a Ukrainian domestic, as them being part of the Soviet Union, they had the BTR series of armored vehicles, and they basically kept the line going, but made their own unique Ukrainian version. That was our second offering after the fighters, after the Ghost of Kyiv fighters, and we just kept it rolling. So we have the BTR4, T-64B. This is a Ukrainian. Again, the Ukrainians refitting, retrofitting older vehicles with more modern armaments, more modern, protection, and then of course their own camouflage and all this stuff. So we wanted to just highlight the fact that these guys are the underdogs, and they're actually they're holding out on their own, and there's so much need for support, financial support, not just the humanitarian crisis, which we've donated a ton of money to. This is raised, at this point, we've raised over $120,000 of it. $120,000 for Ukrainian refugee organizations, the Red Cross, and of course now we're getting involved a little bit closer to people that are on the front lines. So. No,
that's incredible. So I know we're here at the GHQ store, and a lot of these kits are still available. If people are interested in buying these online, is a lot of this still available?
Yeah, it's at brickmania.com. I believe there's a Ukraine benefit tab in the main menu.
Okay.
And in the store menu, and all of these are there. Everything that's a benefit. And like I said, as of right now, we're at about $120,000 raised. And all that money's been donated. We haven't been holding on to it. It's as soon as, every week, as soon as we get it, we forward it right away. And the organizations we're getting it, some of them are pretty small. They're really appreciative of the help, and they're in need. I mean, the need's going to be ongoing. So as long as, as much as people are sick of hearing about it,
right, the situation hasn't changed in Ukraine. It's still happening. Yeah, exactly. No, I think the work you guys are doing is amazing. So we'll make sure to put a link to the Ukraine portion of the Brickmania website in the description so people can check that out. You can find that link there and check out all of these kits. So keep up the great work with this. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.